What's up guys, Scoopman 5000 back for another action figure review, and today we got a big one. This is Superman vs. Doomsday from the DC Multiverse. It's a gold label only at Target. It's shipping. This is the first time we got a mega fig and a regular figure in the same box. It's the Superman 85th anniversary. Get a nice look at some of that artwork. Let's get to it. Let's take Doomsday and Superman out of the package. And here is Superman out of the packaging. Both figures have a trading card. For Superman, it's the Death of Superman, the famous image. And then for Doomsday, it's artwork I don't really recognize, but it does say on both cards, Reign of Doomsday. And other than that, the only accessories in this entire pack are a swappable set of flying hands for Superman, kind of splayed open action hands that come on the figure already. And while we are on the subject of the trading card, again, the famous image from the Death of Superman, just wait for him to turn around here, and you'll notice he does not have the logo on the back of his cape. Again, I don't know what the Reign of Doomsday is, but I mean, they're showing it on the card. So the body here is actually the exact same figure we've seen before, and even up to the face and the head sculpt, it's an exact reuse of Hush Superman. See the way the mouth is shaped, the eyebrows, but they did go ahead and give him kind of a normal eyes here, where he has the laser vision. He's a bit pale with the Hush version, and maybe the blue and the red looks a little different. We do turn them around, you see the capes are flipped, and also this one does indeed have the yellow on the cape, and it is strange. Because again, they made a new cape for this, and it does look like they're trying to emulate that tatter, but they didn't put the logo. And this body's going all the way back to Infected Superman. That's like a year one McFarlane. But I mean, hey, it's a great looking figure. I think it's got a good proportion about him. All the colors really pop here. And it's really the name of the game here is the battle damage. A bit on his forehead here, dry blood coming out his lip, going down a nice tatter in the suit. I get this darker hatching on some different parts of the body. You see a bit of darker red or brown, so this could be dried blood or dirt or whatever it is. So at the end of the day, it's a very similar Superman to ones we've seen before, and you don't even have something like a flight stand or fist accessories. It begs the question, did he even need to be here? Because Doomsday, they could have just put in a mega fig box. And while I think it looks real nice mint on card, and I think would have been really cool if they took this sculpt, put it on a display base with the emblem, we can make our own Death of Superman. Articulation on this guy. Again, it's a body we've seen before, so he's going to be familiar feeling in hand, kind of quickly go over it. And it's decent. Like, I love the Infected Superman and a lot of the other ones that came from it, including this, but it's just that this is almost exactly like that. So for me, not a lot to go over. Does not kick back, but everything else is pretty good. So again, we'll throw him in with Hush Superman, pretty much the exact same figure head to toe. And here we go with Wave 1, Action Comics Superman. I really wish this was the body we're getting first appearance Superman on. Here he is with Hush Batman. These two kind of do go together. But I do think this Batman is probably too tall next to this guy. And here he is with our new Knightfall Batman. This one's maybe a little small next to Superman. How could we forget Rebirth Superman, another figure using this exact body, even down to the strangely painted boots. And another one on this body, the Eradicator. I've yet to open my Jon Kent, so here we go. And he is a little bow-legged, but that looks pretty good. Here he is with Lobo, and with his arch-nemesis Lex Luthor. Here he is with Devastator. We'll be seeing more of him in a second. And finally, here's Doomsday, a figure so large he barely fits in my shitty little setup. No accessories at all with this guy. And I'm actually going to take him right off the stand real quick, because we got some things to talk about. So Doomsday, I was incredibly excited for this guy, and I still am. But taking him out the box, instantly something's off-putting. And I don't know if you could tell, but I don't like a wobble on my figures, and especially not something I'm used to on McFarlane. Even the head here, very loose. Just kind of feels weird in your hands. Like he doesn't feel right, like a mega fig. Even this crotch piece, you know, every McFarlane has one, but just the thinness of the material. And again, these legs and the torso just kind of flopping around. I'm a little concerned to see how this guy holds up over time in that aspect, if he loosens up. Something that happens with my Marvel Legends, but not I would expect with a McFarlane, and especially a mega fig. But nonetheless, I mean, take a look. That's Doomsday. That's incredible. And he is reusing a lot of the Devastator. So we're going to go ahead and just put them together right away. Let's try to fit everybody in frame here. And here we go with his little midge brother, the Devastator. And so you can see what's going on here. Definitely a lot of the torso has been re-sculpted, but we're getting some of the same parts. But 100% reuse is the arms and kind of the sockets those arms go into, and then totally reworked down to the legs. And those add a lot of height on this guy. Really, the torso section, that's about the same height, but they just went ahead, kind of unsquatted him down. And now McFarlane, I know, is a business. And listen, you got to make Devastator big now, and we'll buy him too. Pull a Hasbro on us, give us a better version. But metal, that's what got me into this. You know, this is what brought me here. Let's get it. I love me some Devastator. And Doomsday is mostly an improvement. Like I said, though, just kind of feels weird and floppy. Let's get him out of the way, and we'll go over some of the detail. I mean, it's not like, what am I going to say? He's got bones and spikes, and he's got dry brush over that. I will go over the head sculpt really quick, because there's a lot of cool stuff happening here. I love the top knot, very exaggerated. You know, this is like an artist interpretation almost of how much top knot that Doomsday has, but I'll take it. And the face here really is incredible. They do a great job of the laser eye kind of effect. The real dark circles, red, and then just the white in the middle gives it that kind of burning effect. Even the teeth are a slightly different color. The inside of the mouth is painted, which we missed out on with Devastator the first time. And the articulated jaw, which does call back. I think this is like the only other articulated jaw figure they've made is him and the Devastator. So really striking, incredible face. And I mean, I can't even do the detail justice for all the sculpting here. If you have Devastator, exact same arms, even down to kind of the cloth tatters that really should be painted. It really makes sense to be green because this is supposed to be part of his containment suit. So maybe paint those tatters green, that'd be an added bonus. But otherwise, I mean, not much more you could ask for in terms of the look and the girth and the height especially. Really, I'm just looking at him now. I'm very impressed with the figure, but again, these legs, something's going on. I don't like it. In addition to that, these shoes over here, first of all, no toe hinge, very strange for a McFarlane. It's like a ratcheted ankle pivot, which is limited. Like, that's a weird feeling. And then speaking of which, so the head, all sorts of rotation, but again, very, very loose. Almost no effort required here. Torso, again, loose. A lot of loose pieces here. Shoulders, that's about right. But again, these Devastator arms, they're really just going like 45, not even. The legs are splitting out, and this is like some new engineering here. Very small hinges, so maybe small hinges means floppy joints. Kick back, you know, look again. This never happens on your figure where it bunches up the back here. This should normally just stop it from moving. Real thin material holding all this together. Kick forward. Again, you're warping the material. Doomsday's a weird figure in terms of engineering, but he's hella impressive looking. And then for comparison, I love how this looks. A classic Superman gallery here with Lex, with Lobo, and now Doomsday. And if you're going for Death of Superman, here's the Eradicator and Superboy. Here's the Superman he comes with, along with Action Comics 1000. And he really looks great with both of them. The colors definitely pop. And then finally some other mega figs. So let's get him next to Mongul, who does beat him just a little bit. There you go. And then with Kal-El, who's maybe slightly shorter, about the same height. Got a bit more girth, however. And I do have the Storm Doomsday as well as an old Mattel one, but those are completely buried right now. Oh, God. And that is going to do it for Superman vs. Doomsday, the 2-pack from Target. And I was really excited for this. Maybe my expectations were a little high. But I think Doomsday, at the end of the day, is an imposing, big, essential figure. But he's very weird feeling in hand. Pretty cumbersome to move around. And loose and floppy feeling at that. The Superman, it's a good figure. Solid figure, but we've seen it all before. And again, we're missing the flight stand. We're missing the fisted hand. And I think a tattered up cape on the pole would have been definitely putting this over the top. For now, I think it's an okay value. I think you still got to get it, though. That's the thing. It's Doomsday. It's an essential character in his original costume. You got to pick him up. Speaking of which, I'd love to see a containment suit version of Doomsday. I'd always loved that look in the old Mattel and DCU figures. And of course, a Devastator. Reuse that guy. Let's reuse the reuse and get a better Devastator. Hopefully tighten the joints up by the time we get there. And that is going to do it for this one. You can check out my Instagram. We're posting all kinds of reels, poses, and of course the figure photography from these videos. I'm also on Twitter, and you can check out my second channel for DC and Marvel movie review. I'll see you guys in the next action figure review.